Scrooge Media. This is my 2003 E55 AMG. I've had the car just over a year now, which I didn't know until I got a letter through the post this morning from the insurance company saying that it was renewal time. So that was quite a surprise. I only thought I had it 8 or 9 months. But I thought I might as well take the chance to do a quick update video on what I've done, what I'm planning on doing, if anything's broken, what I need to replace, and whether I'm still enjoying the car. And in the answer to that last question, yeah, I'm still really enjoying the car. I absolutely love it. Even after a year, I'm not looking at changing. There was a brief stint where I thought I might have to go for an estate or something a little bit bigger because we've just got a dog. But it turns out the dog isn't as big as we thought it was going to be, so we're just going to stick with this for now. After a year and about 12,000 miles, I can thankfully report nothing's broken apart from the intercooler pump, which was originally broken before I'd even bought the car. I've not had to replace anything, which is pretty amazing actually, especially when you read online about some of the stories with the airmatic suspension, some of the gearbox issues that you can have. Not a thing, everything still works. I'm really happy. Although I did have a load sensor on the rear axle not work as well as it should have done until I took it apart and cleaned it when I was lowering the car. It made it drop right down on its arse, which obviously is not good, but that was only because I touched it. It was just absolutely filthy and corroded to hell, but just quick clean up and now it works perfectly fine. So yeah, happy to report, year of ownership, 12,000 miles, nothing wrong, still very happy. Massive surprise and relief. So when I first got the car, obviously the first thing I needed to do was the exhaust. The E55 AMG is an incredibly quiet car, especially for an AMG model. Everyone expects AMGs to be big, brash, loud, rumbly V8s, but when I first drove this, it was just unbelievably quiet. So straight down to my local exhaust centre that does mainly American custom exhausts, and we did a resonator delete. And that still didn't really make much difference. It was still a bit too quiet, not really the noise I was looking for. So I went back later and did a cat delete and X-pipe. That made it a lot nicer. You could still creep around nice and quietly without being just ignorantly loud. And it did sound really good, but there was still a lack of volume, especially when you hear like the C63s and the E63s. They have that distinctive V8 AMG burble, and that's what I really wanted. So speaking to a few friends who have got these, they've got C63 back boxes. So it was a quick look on eBay, and then 200 quid later I found some C63 back boxes. Up to the Midlands I went, and then another 80 quid I think it was to fit them. And the car sounds absolutely amazing. I'm so happy with it. It's still quiet, it's not drony on the motorway, but as soon as you put your foot down, it just comes to life. It really rumbles. And I love it. Hopefully it doesn't start to grate on me, because it can be a bit noisy if you're trying to make a bit of progress and you're trying to do it quietly. it just adds to the enjoyment of the car, and that's what I wanted. Where it's so sound insulated in this car, you can't hear enough, and you want to be able to hear it to just bring up that enjoyment of the car, make it feel a bit more sporty. And talking of sporty, I better raise my suspension. I'm now going over big speed humps, and I've also done lowering links. Now the lowering links were incredibly easy to install, less than half an hour I think it was, really. Obviously you had adjustments, but I got it pretty much bob on first time, thankfully. They were £90 I think it was, so relatively cheap, easy mod. I don't lose the functionality of the air suspension. I still have all the different settings. I can still raise it, which is more than ideal to go over speed humps. It's a little bit lower than I would have liked, but that's me. I need to adjust it and bring the back up a little bit more, I think. So future modifications are going to be 83mm pulley and Eurocharge map. Just waiting for those to come from America now. It's taken a little while because we've done it as part of a group buy, and some heat exchangers have been custom made, so we just had to wait for those to be finished before it could all be shipped to save on shipping and stuff like that. It's a bit of a shame it hasn't arrived now, because this Saturday we're all off to Santa Pod to do a few runs, but it'd be quite nice to test what this does standard. And then I can go back later on in the season and see what it does with the pulley and the tune. A TCU tune is another thing I need to go for. I've seen quite a few people offering just a swap out of the TCU module with the upgraded software. A friend has one of those on his E55, and it really brings the gearbox up to a much better level. Obviously it's still not going to be anywhere near as good as a DSG or a double clutch setup, but it is an old 5-speed slush box, so we can't expect miracles. But it makes the paddles work a lot better. I'm going to be enjoying the paddles a whole lot more compared to now. I mean, I'm in sport mode now, and if I press the paddles they do absolutely nothing. With the TCU update, that means I can use them in any of the driving modes rather than having to click down into the suspension settings. It changes up and down much quicker. The torque converter feels like it locks up a lot quicker, so you get a lot more response, which is what this car really needs to bring it up to a bit more of a better level. The only downside is when you're driving along and you're trying to keep it smooth, the gear changes are noticeably more clunky. I mean, at the moment they're incredibly smooth, especially if you stick them in comfort. But yeah, with the TCU tune you do notice it, but there's obviously got a bit of downside, and for only 250 quid you can't expect miracles. But I'm really looking forward to getting that. I've been told it knocks like 0.1 or 0.2 seconds off of your 0 to 60 and like 0.4 off of your quarter mile or something like that. So definitely a worthwhile investment, I think. So the only other things I've had to replace since my last video are the tyres. So before I had Pilot Super Sports up front and P0 Rossos on the back. It was a great setup. OEM sizes, 245s, 30 18s at the front, 265 30 18s at the back. But once they got low, the grip was just horrible, and I think the tyres might have been a bit misshapen because it was starting to just act and handle a little bit funny, so it was definitely time to change. And last week here in the UK we had some absolutely horrific snow. I had to go out a couple of times, unfortunately, and the car was almost undrivable. I was getting stuck going up hills, I was sliding down hills. It was just horrible, not a nice experience at all. So I thought, time to definitely get a new set of tyres. So I decided to do my research, and I went with a tyre that I've had before that I really liked. Nankang NS2Rs street compound track day tyres. These were £490 for the whole lot, and then I paid like £20 to fit them, so a proper bargain compared to the equivalent Michelins, which would have been 950 quid, something like that. I've gone for 255s at the front as opposed to the 245s, just hoping to take away understeer almost completely. I couldn't get 275s at the back, so I've had to go for the standard 265s, but I'm more than happy. They're not fantastic when they're cold, but once they're warmed up, they're absolutely brilliant, so I'm really happy with that, especially for the price. I don't think I could have got a better tyre, to be honest, but we just got to see how long they last. I don't think they're going to last very long here.
Before I put the pulley on and do the ECU tune, I was hoping to borrow a friend's V-Box just to see, or just lay down some base numbers of like 0 to 60, 0 to 100, maybe obviously a quarter mile time, but I'll be doing that at standard pod anyway. Just think it'd be a really good idea to start somewhere and just see how far the car progresses with the small mods that I'm going to be doing, and hopefully we can see a decent improvement so that it kind of makes it a bit worthwhile. As you can see, it's not exactly slow to 60. It should be about 4.4, 4.3, something like that. And 100 is just under 10 seconds, I think it is. I think it's like 9.8, 9.7. But we'll hopefully get the V-Box soon and confirm that. If you've made it through the video, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with some more videos. Hopefully one coming up soon of Santa Pod. I'm going there on Saturday, trying to set a base time before I change the pulley, do the map and do the TCU tune. Hopefully it'll be a good time, but we shall see. So yeah, look out for the next video. Thanks, bye.